Hey, it's Game Hydro. Today we're talking about a game called Birds Camp, which is a new tower defense game starring birds. And yes, while, of course, it may sound like the concept to the classic mobile game Angry Birds, it's actually not the same type of game at all. So we're going to go over some tips, tricks, gameplay, cheat strategies, etc. to help you succeed and do better at the game. So we're going to go in a strange order here. Up at the top right, you see the pause button. Hit the pause button, and you have various different settings that you can change. Now, you can change the graphics, you can change the audio, you can change various controls and features like auto zoom when you're building something in a stage. The language, which if you're watching this video, you probably are keeping it in English unless English is your second language, and I'm just the best one out there despite my lack of speaking your first language. In that case, thank you very much for watching. Now, under others, you actually get redeem codes. Didn't know these were in the game at first, but you can enter redeem codes. We don't have any redeem codes right now, but I'm going to try one of my favorite universal redeem codes that lots of developers like to use within their games. See if it works. And dun 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 dun, loading. Not there. That's okay. Most games don't use that code, even though a lot do, surprisingly. But we're going to look around. Under Boot Camp, this is where you can power up your birds. Now, you need a few different things for that. You need bird seed and you need scrolls. Now, of course, you got different rarities of character that you can power up here. Let's do the warrior bird since that's one of the basic ones. And you can see the bird seed and the scrolls start to drop as the upgrades get done. Now, Flame Spitter, that's actually one of my favorites. But you can see the stats increase too as you power folks up. It's good to look around at the stats of your birds and their weapons to see which ones are best used for what purposes. You could, for example, put your warrior birds closest to the enemy and put the squawk shooters behind them. Or you can just try to flood the board however you want. Since most of the time they're not attacking you, your birds, they're attacking your headquarters. But we'll go over that in a bit. You got different squads that you can switch between, and each different squad contains entirely its own cards. So let's go over to the Talisman Workshop. That contains, you can use redstones to get more talismans, and you can start off being able to equip more than one at once, or only one at once, but you can unlock the ability to equip as many as 4 at once. So you tap one of those lock buttons, it says, you can unlock extra talisman slots in the. All right, great, it's not telling us. If you speak another language, then it would probably show up in the first language spoken by the developer. But English is not the first language, so that's all right. We can make do with it. Make sure to always collect your daily sign-in rewards. Make sure to always go to your warehouse and take inventory of what you have. Talisman gems, superior metals, common steels, common scrolls, metals, chest. Now those common chests you can open in the, not the boot camp, in the shop. So we're going to go to the market. As you can see, we got 7 common chests. Tap the other chests to open them when you have chests that you have collected. Right now we're going to do the common, open 7 at a time because that's what we got. We got bird seed, superior scrolls, and more. Plume tokens are the premium currency of the game. They can be used to purchase diamonds. There's probably ways to get free ones in this game. We haven't seen any so far. And then, of course, diamonds. You can either watch ad videos, purchase with plume tokens. And you can use the bird seed that you have in order to purchase chests, which isn't worth it if you're going for bird seed from those chests. Scrolls, which can be worth it, because if you got a chest with a lot of scrolls, it can be worth far more than the amount that you spent on it if you compare it to the prices of buying scrolls on their own. Common metals, superior metals. You can also purchase stuff with diamonds and go to the recycler shop and trade in scrolls and things like that for more birdseed. So that is how you do that. So if you run out of birdseed and you need more birdseed, especially for upgrades, you can do that. Over in the messenger, this is essentially your inbox. Market, we already went there. Quest center, you can collect rewards in exchange for completing quests. Additionally, you can tap around and look around to see what the quests are that you have not yet completed. And you can hit the fresh start button in order to start things over. I don't recommend doing that unless you're ready to start the game from the beginning, though. Achievement medal area. You can earn a lot of good stuff there, including, as you saw there, 5 superior chests. So in the interest of research, we're going to go open those. Superior medals, common scrolls, talisman gems, and birdseed. All right. I'm not mad at that. And then common chests, we're going to take care of that later. Research center up here. So this is where you can use your common metals and superior metals, as well as, of course, your birdseed. So make sure to take a look at what each thing does before you purchase it. Base health boost increases base's hit points. That's a good one. More refunds. Demolishing a building returns 20 to 30% of gold invested. Depends on how much you demolish buildings, I guess. Wishing pool, gold chest. Expanded prize pool, plus 2 gold for the price agreed. Increased attack, refunds more gold. Increased uses. Yep, that's what you can upgrade over in the research center. So that's what your steel is there for, and that's what your metals are there for. All right. We're going to go to the combat center to actually fight. So notice that little button that says story mode in the top right corner. You might not have noticed this. There may be a point in the game where you come across an area where it's where you can't beat the next level. So you know what? You can switch it to either training mode, which you got to clear the 10th encounter for, or endless mode, which you unlock right away. Now, endless mode, before I made this video, I tried endless blue sea 1. I'm going to put a spoiler alert out there. Make sure you have at least 30 minutes free before you try one of these, because I got to about wave 27 or so, clicked away from the screen for about literally 3 seconds, click back, and the game reset on me and didn't go straight back to where I was. But anyways, not only do you have a buttload of endless levels here, but you can also earn pretty significant rewards for playing those endless levels. All right, so where are we at? In the library, you can see all kinds of different cards. No special rewards for looking at each set of cards, unlike a lot of games. It's just there so that you can look at them and know exactly what they do. So you go to your combat center, you can choose what level you want, hit the switch button down below, and you can actually take a look at the other units and the other decks that are available in the game. Obviously, Master of War is the one that you start with. Each one has its own different skills, its own different units, etc. So you got more skins and completely different decks to begin with, which you unlock by getting the covenant of those cards from the super chests. So, except for Team Dovetail, which you complete the main quest and sign in events. So, show you that. Over in the market, the super chest, that is expensive stuff. 100 diamonds to one super chest, and you can see the chest content probabilities. You have a 1% chance, or excuse me, a 5% chance of getting a new squad, or a 1% chance of getting a skin for the squad that you already have. All right, let's go to the combat. Now, these rounds are definitely much shorter than the endless rounds, of course. And when you get far enough in, you're going to be getting pincer attacked pretty much every time. So look where the little cross swords are. That's where you are going to get hit from next. That's where you want to put your attack units. Hit the button to start the round early. I don't care that my battery's low. Go away. Up at the top right corner, you got speed adjustments. That red arrow means that you hit the button once, which means it's double speed. And then the blue backwards arrow means that it is now half speed. Now, putting it to half speed real quick is great when you got a ton of cards you got to work through, or you're just really trying hard to strategize. You don't want things to be in a rush when you haven't figured it out yet. See that little orange line? That is the path that enemies will be taking when they come out. Oh no, that's a bad start. We got see if we can redirect them, actually. Sometimes you can redirect them. In that case, unfortunately, I can't put the cannon there, but I can put the cannon there, and it redirects them. Anything that adds length to the amount of distance that enemies have to walk is absolutely a good thing. Because the longer they have to walk, the more time they can spend having to try to survive and or avoid attacks. Let's put Mr. Sword Dude out here. Start tapping some cards. So you'll either get a choice between 2 cards or 3 cards, depending on what you tap. More cards gives you 1 more cards. Attack speed increases buffed units' attack speed by 30%. I haven't buffed anybody yet. I'm going more cards. Now, this screen allows you to get new cards that you can then put down in order to attack the enemy. Let's go artillery. Oh, no, never mind. I didn't want to go artillery. Whatever. I like squawk shooter, though. You can put them at a far distance away. And there's some rare skills and talismans and stuff that pop up that you don't really see all that often a lot of times. Make sure to hit the red reload button when you run out of cards. All right, slow things down a bit. We got to strategize. That's actually perfect because that adds length to the amount of distance that they have to walk. Now I can put sword guy here. Now when you see an arrow pointing downward, that means that there is generally an attack specific to that square. Tap the one on the left, and the choices here are to aim the cannon in one of 3 different directions or increase the attack power. So you're going to want to either aim it to the left or to the right, typically, depending on how far into the level you are. All right, let's speed things up. Increase attack speed and energy restoration. Let's go with it. There's some others like the lightning power-up. All right, reload. Where do we want to put this guy? Can't really put him anywhere without completely redirecting things. Or can't really put him anywhere, apparently. Oh, just not on the dark square, I guess. There we go. Nothing wrong with a little redirection. You don't always have to claim your cards right away, but after you get enough of them built up, then you will be able to. Make sure to read the list of choices to figure out what your favorite is before you... All right, we're going with that. Before you make your choice. Armorsmith, that's one of the support team members of this team of the Masters of War. Can be good to have, but I like pure attackers, at least right now. But further into the game, you will probably want to use support types too. Matryoshka doll, after refreshing, cards become shrunk in size and only occupy one tile. That is actually quite nice because you can put cards in more places. An excellent one, especially to use during endless mode, because you end up so epically flooded. All right. We got this guy. Put him smack in the middle. Just make sure to always pay attention. Well, pay attention to the dialogue sometimes too, because they can give you a hint what you should be doing next. But also just pay attention to what side the attack is coming from, if there's multiple sides to choose from. Sometimes there's not. We're going to point this thing. We're going to point this downward right now. But another use you can do with these cannons is to try to redirect the walkway into the path of the cannons for maximum possible damage. All right. That's wave 6 out of 8. Max hit points increasing by 100 is a lot. We're actually getting pretty close to the end of the level here. Now, after you beat the final boss of the wave, you'll get a few challenge waves at the end, and if you beat those challenge waves, you will get even larger rewards. But if you don't, you'll still get the normal rewards. Not only do you move on to the next level, but you earn lots of bird seed, you earn chests, you earn scrolls, and things like that. All right. I think we pretty much covered all that we wanted to cover so far. So make sure to take advantage of your terrain. Use the redeem codes whenever you find them. And keep finding and purchasing and completing quests in order to earn as many super chests as possible. Matter of fact, I'm backing out of this so we can show you some more quests. Quest Center, Achievement Medal, Final Rewards, Super Chest for most of these. So go up here, read what all these are, especially the Super Chest ones. Try to do them so you can earn as many Super Chests as possible. Anyways, this is Game Hydra. Talk to you later.